All right. Well, I want to get this party started. Thank you guys for joining. Just because we have that 7 o'clock call with Jenny Lesby, it's been really valuable. I want to shout out to Julia Baker and Angela Noble. And I think I heard Deborah Ray. It's wonderful to hear our team interacting on that call. I think it's super valuable. I think everyone would agree. But we have a very exciting week right now, just because we have Glow launching for sure. It was actually the week of the 11th. They had just problems on top of problems on top of problems. I don't want to go into that, but I do believe that Monday morning, everything is going to start to ship. So you should get an email if you've placed an order of Glow. We're going to talk a little bit about just how do we move this distribution? How do we create distribution? One of the things I want to talk about. But before we do, we're going to have Hal talk about how is the leaderboard looking?
Leaderboard's looking good again this week.
Tell us what it is, because we actually have a brand new ambassador. She just enrolled today, okay. Christina Durham. I want to just welcome her and part of Angela Noble's team.
All right. Well, that's one of the reasons Angela's on the leaderboard.
Yep.
So Zalise keeps a running, cycling, pretty much up to date, top 25 global. This is all over the world for people who are enrolling new people, either from wholesale customers to bronze ambassadors to silver ambassadors to gold. And so what they keep up with is the enrollment on the top 25. Now, there is another couple of things that they keep up with, like top retail purchases and so forth. But what we recognize, because we're about building teams, is our team members who are each week on the top 25 leaderboard. And this is a big deal, because this is how your business grows. It's how your team's business grows, by introducing, sharing products, sharing the business opportunity, introducing people to the Zalise way of life and product line and the science and all the wonderful things and our relationship. So that's what the top 25 leaderboard is. So enrolling new ambassadors, and the top 25 board changed. I mean, today.
Just today.
From Lisa, I just checked it just a few minutes ago, and I said, "Did you know this?" And you're like, "No, I didn't."
So we're going to pause after you read number 25.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again this week from our team on the whole top 25 leaderboard. So at number 25, out of Evansville, Indiana, Angela Noble.
Woo-hoo!
At number 25. Now we're pausing.
Yeah, and I wanted to pause because Angela brought on Christina Durham. Uh-huh. And are you still there, Christina?
Yes.
Now you're going to get to talk to total strangers right now, but they won't be strange for long, because this is an amazing team that you will lock arms with. But just tell us what kind of compelled you to rejoin, because you were part of Zalise 2 years ago.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
The new product launch is big. Life really shook everything up through the pandemic with job and just what I'm supposed to do next. I know that within me, I'm supposed to be doing something with people, and all of that with the health side of what Zalise does and their business model. With both of those, I just look forward to getting plugged into a team that can help me focus and drive and push me in the right direction. So,
well, we're super excited, Christina. This is Team Unlimited, and this is the Facebook group that you're a part of. Every single person on this call, we adore, we work with. They're like family to all of us. They've been handpicked. So we're just glad that you're part of the team, and we're excited that this is the right time for you. So we expect wonderful things from you, Christina.
All right. Nice to meet you, Christina. Congratulations, Angela, for being number 25. So we're going to run through the rest of the leaderboard all the way up to number 1. So at number 18 out of Texas is Dr. Kent Smith. At number, I can't read your writing, 12. At number 12, Mark and Shelley Johnstone out of Springdale, Arkansas, right up the road from us. And at number 4, Mercy Gitabu out of, San Diego area, California?
San Diego.
Yes, and we've heard from Mercy a couple of times. And then somehow, once again, Hal and Lisa keep moving up the leaderboard to number 3. We're chasing Lisa Hall, actually, what we're trying to do. We're chasing who is number one, holding the position now for a couple of weeks at number one in all the leaderboard of all of Zalise. And of course, we're pulling for her to end the month of October, not only on the top of the leaderboard, but for hitting that rank that she keeps talking about, to change her life and help other people change theirs. And so, Lisa, keep doing what you're doing.
I want to give a shout out to Lisa Hall, because she works really hard. She has, she's an entrepreneur, she's a business person, she has multiple things she does, but she's done a great job of training Mercy. And because they have really been in different places. And so most of that has been done on Zoom. And I had the privilege of getting to work with Mercy this week. We've done several Zoom calls. She just texted me and said, hey, can you do this time at this time? Can you help me with the presentation? And it's working really well for her.
Yeah.
So just shout out to Lisa Hall. Any other words of wisdom, Lisa?
No, I think you have all the wisdom I have left. But did we mention Kenya? Because she's on the leaderboard too, right?
Kenya's been on the leaderboard.
She was on. Angela
knocked her off. So she's probably like number 25 and a half.
Okay.
So Kenya.
Okay. Well, she was there earlier this evening. I know that.
She was.
I know.
She's been talking to everybody and she's doing great. So I just wanted to recognize her too.
That's a great, thank you, Lisa. We appreciate that.
25.5.
See, that's fun to have that, little competition there.
So Kenya, you got to try to get Angela off. I'm just teasing.
Actually knock Lisa Hall off. That would be great. At the top.
So guys, they have done this. I just want to be very aware. They've done this with no product in their hand.
Yep.
And Lisa tells the funny story that, Mercy was like, hey, well, as soon as I get my product in and start using it, then I'll start talking to people. Right, Lisa? And what did you say?
I said, you never wait for the product. They don't care what happens to you, only what happens to them.
Yeah.
So one of the things we wanted to talk about is how do we create distribution and why do we create distribution? And what
is distribution?
Distribution means the movement of product the way people consume. And I think of it as a Walmart without walls. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but you keep talking about distribution. I want to make sure I understood when you say, how do we create distribution? Are you talking about just people consuming themselves or
sharing.
Beyond that?
Yes. Yes and yes.
Okay, so tell a little bit more. Make sure.
So I think of distribution as, first of all, we create conversations with people.
Okay.
We let them know what we have our hands on. And if we're really, really smart, we're going to do that in a fraction of time with a tool. One of the tools that we have recently added to Team Unlimited is just a very short 5-minute article that I wrote that you edited for me. And that's just an example of one of the ways that we can get information in front of people.
Where do they find that?
That is on Team Unlimited as a file.
On Facebook.
Who figured out how to upload a file?
So you created a file.
I did.
Of kind of a little bit of your story and a little bit of explanation of Glow. And so you recommend people use that as a part of what they share with others to create distribution.
And you guys, once we create conversations, we find out what is the best way for somebody to learn. Some people like to read, some people like to watch videos. Very few people want a white paper, but there are different ways that people like to learn. And so I used to be a health writer prior to Zalise. And so I like to read and I want to read something really concise. I want to do it on my own time. And so one of the things that I've had a lot of success with just this past week, it's one of the reasons we're on the leaderboard, is that I've asked people if they have 5 minutes to take a look at an article that I'm really passionate about, a health project that I've taken on. And when can I pick their brain about the project? And it could be, hey, who do you know that's right for this project? Who do you know that's looking to get healthier, to lose some weight from COVID? I think Mercy's words. And within that, they're going to tell me if they want to look at an article or if they want to see a video or if they want to have a 30-minute video showing the science. Everybody's a little bit different. But once we use a tool, then we follow up to find out exactly what is the right way for them to engage in the project.
Creating distribution.
Creating distribution.
Thank you. Clear.
Yes. So phone calls, Facebook Lives. I want to just kind of a shout out because there have been some Facebook Lives lately. I know I saw
winner, man.
Angela Noble did did a Facebook Live. I
Yeah.
was super proud of her. In addition to that, we have had some glow parties on our team.
Yeah.
Do you know anybody who's had a glow party?
We did. We had a glow party.
Yeah, but no, this
And
week.
then who else had a glow party this week? Let me think.
Lori and
Couple.
Jean.
I was getting there. I was just being slow about it. Who? Lorena and
Lori and
Jean last
Jean
night.
Wortmeister last
Okay.
night, yes.
Thank you, Mary.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
Oh, that was Mary.
That was
Oh,
Mary.
okay. Thank you,
So
Mary.
let me just,
Mary was at
Jean
the
and
party.
Lorena, can you tell us about your glow party?
Go for it.
Well, two things. Actually, we have two of our attendees on the call tonight. One of them was bourbon. And, he was the only alcoholic beverage there. So, but we had 10 people
10 people,
and counting us, 4 new people.
4 brand new.
Yeah.
And our support, we had a few of our group, they were there,
Yeah.
and Mary was there. And
Yes. And actually our son, he came, and they are actually talking about getting back in because he dropped the ball and because whatever it was, but they're going to re-sign up
right.
for it.
So and the other 2 couple that were there, they're both very, very interested in the product. And it sounds like they're going to be customers for us.
And everybody had great questions.
Yeah.
And we tried I didn't answer questions with questions, but I answered their questions. Then I asked again. So it was good. And I did use note cards, and everybody was wonderful about that.
That's great.
And so Jean, you guys, did you guys do a PowerPoint? Did you guys just talk with note cards? So how did you guys present the information?
PowerPoint, and we just hooked our computer to our TV in the living room, and we just kind of like a big screen, basically. And
We did the glow. It was only 12 slides. It was mostly the science of it. So I did my homework. I, found out what the kinetic research study was and what exactly that studied. And I looked up the inflammation markers up online. And so I went, okay, this one's for this one's for this. And these are only part of them that were there. And then I had 3 cards, and I can't remember the other one.
That's okay.
Yeah, so it went really well. And actually we had somebody that we were almost finished with it.
Yeah.
And so I
went
through it again, and probably, I think it took me about
half the time.
About 5 to 10 minutes, but I went really fast and didn't go through all of them, but they took actually an application home.
Right.
Interesting. So a 5 to 10 minute presentation, they came in and then they took an app home.
Right.
Yeah.
They got the
That's
condensed.
a teaching point. There you go for
They
everybody.
got the condensed
Yeah.
version.
Yeah.
That's-
Well, I'm really proud of you guys.
I have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
So was this your first home event since COVID?
No, we had one other.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
This is your first glow party,
Yes.
right? How many phone calls did you make? I don't need the details. Just give me a number.
25,
Yeah,
30.
20. I
Okay.
made 20. He talked to somebody from work. He
Yeah,
talked to
I'd say there's probably, I'd
Personal
say
invitations.
with Lori's in mind, 30 to 35 people we contacted,
All right.
and lots of no-shows.
Very good. And so let me ask you this. Did you do a Facebook Live?
No, we did
Okay.
not.
That's fine. Did you do a bunch of emails?
I did. We actually,
Couple.
I made a lot of phone calls and left a lot of messages, and I also did text message because, I'm still
so
getting there on you.
My point is that you did a lot more personal contacting than you did social media and so
Yes.
forth.
Yeah.
And that worked well for you. We have
Yes.
other people who do more social media and get good results.
Right.
You have to find your wheelhouse, and typically the way that you do that is by doing it all and see what sticks, improving. The other thing that you two did is you called me like 3 times in the last week saying,
Mhm.
here's what we're doing, here's the results we're getting. You took
Right.
the coaching, And because last time we talked, you weren't getting anywhere. And it
Right.
didn't have to do with my coaching. It had to do with your willingness to say, I'm not getting where I want to get with my results of people coming. What do I need to do different? And apparently you did something a little different. So anyway, congratulations. Great job, you guys. Really, really proud of your progress.
Thank you.
Even more than the results.
Takes a lot of courage.
That's right. Thanks for sharing tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, Angela, I was actually going to call on you next because you had a meeting in Newburgh, Indiana. Tell us about that, Angela.
We had a glow party.
Yeah, it was a glow party in
It was a
Newburgh,
glow
Indiana.
party. And so one of our new ambassadors under Gio's team, Gio and Mary, she owns a boutique in Newburgh, and it's just really a neat little shop, and she has an area off to the side. And so we decided that we're going to have this meeting every, the second Wednesday, I think, of the month. But we decided to have a glow party. We did not show a presentation, a formal presentation. We had some handouts. We had 4 guests. We had 14 people, I think 5 guests and 14 people. And that's where Christina came in. She came to that meeting and talking about contacts, how I probably made 25, 30 calls. I know Gio made several. The rest of the team made their calls as well. We had a couple of new people that had been in the business just like this amount of time. So it really was helpful to them. And I'm really proud of Tara Tapp, who owns Ocean. No, not Ocean. What's the name of that shop?
Oak Modern.
Oak Modern Boutique. And this was only the second meeting we've had in her shop, and she did the presentation. So I was really proud of her, and she was awesome. Just awesome.
That's fantastic.
Would you agree, Christina? Are you still on? Maybe she's not on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Oh.
she did a great job. She did a really good job.
And
And it was really low key. Everybody just kind of came in and conversed and everything. It was really a good thing.
So we have a low key kind of non-presentation, but interacting and sharing the product and sharing the experience over to the Workmeisters presenting it twice because someone came in once, but they went through the whole thing. So you have that range. Then I also know that there are those of you on the leaderboard who have not had a glow party, but you're doing a lot of personal one-on-one presentations. You're getting your sponsor, your upline, your leadership to help you doing 3-way, which kind of makes an online party, glow party presentation. The main thing is this, that those people do not come to these meetings unless they're invited. And most of the people who get invited do not come. So whether it's a one-on-one presentation or a group, so for everyone on the call, the reality is, in order to make even small amounts of progress forward, it takes consistency and it takes a number of calls, and helping your team do the same thing, helping people who you've brought on board, helping them make the calls, encouraging them to make the calls, hosting meetings for them, being available for them to bring you on to a call for them. So anyway, these are things most of you already know. And we're reminding all of us. So.
And one more thing that I want to recognize Susan Everett, because I have some secret people in Evansville that will send me pictures occasionally of our ambassadors doing great works. And Susan was doing a networking presentation, which is a whole nother way to create volume. So Susan, tell us about your presentation that you did and also the good work you're doing with Christy.
Well, yeah, I'm happier about Christy than I was my presentation. It really wasn't as much a presentation as we meet once a week, and I probably go to that probably 3 of the 4 weeks out of the month. And I just try to each time highlight something different in Zalise that I think people will catch their attention. And that's what I was doing that particular week. Just, it was a product I hadn't talked about in a while. And it kind of depends on who's there. Sometimes I'll change the spiel, I guess I give, and then try to get conversations with people afterwards. But I'm really thrilled about Christy. She's a fairly new ambassador that she's held one presentation up at where she lives. She lives about an hour and a half from me. And so I went up for that. And she this week had somebody sign up from that meeting, and also has another person who was going to meet with her about signing up and ended up with COVID. So that got delayed a bit. So she's on her way to being an associate pretty quick. So that's awesome.
Hey, Susan, how did you meet Christy?
I met Christy because her husband worked for a group of guys that was in my yard cutting down trees. And so when anybody is working at my house, they have me managing them most of the time. And so I was standing talking to him, and I can't remember what I said, but I said something about nutritional things and all that stuff. And he goes, "You sound like my wife." And I said, "Really? Then I want to talk to her. Give me her phone number." And so that's what started the conversation.
I thought that was amazing. So you guys, I hope what you're doing is listening for clues. In your world, who do you know that comes to your house that works on trees, that comes to do whatever, cable, who do you know that is possibly owns a higher end dress store? Who can you get to know? And so when you hear these stories, you guys think about, who do I know that can create distribution with me?
The other question you can ask yourself is, how can I meet a different group of people how can I get out of my normal routine? Most of us have a pretty much a regular routine where we pretty much are being with the same people over and over again, or we're not in other groups. And I know I'm just going to give one example tonight, and I'm not going to talk about it, but one of the people on the leaderboard, Mercy, she joined way outside her comfort zone, except that we think this is perfect for her. She joined a bunco group, never played bunco before in her life. And she said, "I'm doing it to meet people."
Mercy, is that true? Or is that true? She's somewhere on here.
She's on here. She's hiding.
She's hiding. Anyway,
I'm on here. I'm on
There
there
here.
you
she
are.
is. Mercy, is that true?
That is true. That is true.
I love
I'm
that.
a
I
Franco player.
absolutely love that.
And Mercy, who's hosting next time?
I am.
You volunteered at your first meeting to host bunco at your house next time.
Yep.
That's awesome. What's Alan going to do while you're playing bunco?
I told him to hide somewhere because it's only women. It's only women.
Well, hey, Mercy, I wanted just to give you a shout out because you've worked really hard this week, just, scheduling call after call. You've done it with colleagues, you've done it with, different people, and
On your lunch
just
hour.
your
you're
lunch
weaving it in.
hour, you're a full-time teacher, and you've been really consistent with that. And I'm really proud of you for it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You
Keep
don't
it
get
up.
to be 4 on a leaderboard without that,
That's
right?
right.
So,
All right.
So you guys, just one more thing I wanted to share with you. And this was actually something that Bethany had asked. There was a presentation. Don't forget, one of the tools that we have, if somebody wants to hear a live overview, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday night, 8 p.m. Central, one of the top leaders will go over showing the plan of GLOW. And that's all very much focused on GLOW. And Bethany texted me on Facebook and she said, "Hey, there was an important statistic that I didn't really get all of," and which she asked me,
Which was on the presentation. the
on
other
that
night.
presentation Thursday night. And so I want to read you guys this quote, because I didn't know this. And it's part of the why direct selling, why network marketing. And here's the quote: "I see tremendous value in network marketing and understand why so many women are getting involved," says Donna Baxter, president of NAWBD Greater Pittsburgh. She pointed out that statistics indicate that 82% of women in the US who make over $100,000 a year or more accomplish this through direct sales. 82% or more
Of 100,000 year income.
And you guys, I think that's important enough to include when we present to people, because sometimes people are like, "Oh, is this one of those things?" You gotta respect that statistic that, well over 50%, and it's probably as high as 82% of women who are making that kind of 6-figure income have done it through direct selling. For me, that kind of income happened in my 5th month was the lease. So you guys, this platform If you run volume across your distribution channel, this comp plan pays up to $1 million a month. I promise you that if you do the work, the income is there. And so I wanted to share that with you. The other thing, I wanted to give you a name, if you're taking notes, Courtney Epps. She is a CPA who in Tim Sales, one of the mentors that I love to follow, she has a great video. If you just Google Courtney Epps and Tim Sales, I posted this months ago, but she talks about how the tax system for W-2 wage earners, that's employees, is really created to steal wealth, and how business owners create wealth through the same tax system. And so one of the benefits of getting involved with Solis, really beyond wholesale, any of the business kits, is that tax advantage for the wealthy business owners. And that's just, it's a video that if you've not seen it, you definitely want to watch it. She's one of the best spokesmen I've seen for the wealth advantages of a direct selling business model. So just for your own belief, and one of the reasons why we do this. Anything else you want to add?
That's
on that?
it.
So guys, I told you we would try to always keep this to 30 minutes. It's late. I'm on, and I'm going to go ahead and stop our video right here. Yes, sir.
Wait, real quick, I just want to give a shout out to Mary Barton. You know what? She made a bunch of calls and no one showed for her, but she did. So kudos to Mary.
Way to go, Mary.
You're just following in Gene and Lorena's footsteps. They've made a lot of calls before and nobody showed up too. So you're doing her really well. And guess what? That's just like the rest of us. Everybody makes calls. Everybody has meetings they plan. Everybody thinks people are coming. Everybody gets told, oh yeah, I'll be there. And guess what? Nobody comes. It's
I had a lot of that.
Was that Mary?
I said, I've kind of had a lot of that.
Well, so here's Gene. What happens when you make calls? Let's talk to everybody, but also to Mary. What happens when you're making calls and you're not getting the result that you desire? What do you need to do?
I contact my support line.
Which is like your what?
Like Hal and Lisa.
Yeah,
and
Mary Ellen. But then
Mary Ellen, Ziliak, Karen.
But what do we tell you? If you're not getting the result that you want, you have to what?
Keep trying. Try something different.
There you go. You got to change what you're saying. You have to change some aspect, maybe multiple aspects of your approach.
Right.
So that's typically, if you're not getting the result and outcome you want, which is attendance, which is people saying yes to come and hear, then the approach has to change. So that's what you guys get from us all the time.
Well, something else that has been changing is our mindset. I've been in kind of a funk and everybody kind of knows it. But even no matter what has been going on, we've been consistently listening to, Jean's been doing the homework. I've been listening to Bob Proctor. I've been listening to affirmations. So we're changing our mindset also, which helps with everything. So
that absolutely does. And here's something that I want you guys to all look at, and kind of shout out to Beth Plumley, because she took advantage of this. When you go look at your back office and you look at who has joined with stimulus or wholesale customer, look and see, because for them to upgrade to bronze right now, they can get 2 bags of glow for $100.
So this is a little, y'all ought to be paying attention right here, because I was like, what? Okay, so pay attention. If you have someone on your team that is in your organization that is at wholesale, came in at wholesale, whether they're using product regularly or not, and they want to get glow, if they upgrade, right?
To bronze.
To bronze, it's how much?
$100.
$100. And you know how much 1 bag of glow retails for? $149. You know how much it wholesales for? $99. So for $100 in that upgrade, you are providing them an opportunity to get 2 for 1. And at a retail price, that they could sell, that's a $300 value at retail. So
Wow.
I'm telling you this because this is an opportunity for you to get on the phone with people and say, hey, I don't know if you're interested in anything we're doing or not, but I'm letting you know because you once said yes to me. And I'm going to give you an opportunity right now to do something for your pocketbook and for your waistline or somebody else's, one of the two. Does that make sense? So look on your team.
Yeah.
Hey, Hal, is that, because we have people that came in on the $49 thing.
No,
Is
it's not for the stimulus.
Okay,
It's for wholesale.
It's for wholesale.
Okay.
But,
All right.
but if you go to your back office, guys, and some of you are newer, but if you go to orders and then go to upgrades, just look and see what the options are for people.
So here's what, a lot of times when you have questions about these things, a lot of you call support. I'm just going to make a recommendation right now that you not call support about that. Call your upline. Just go in and do it. I'm very surprised that that opportunity is there. We're not raising any red flags about it. We're not telling, I'm just saying right now is an opportunity that may or may not,
It may not be there.
may
for
not
long.
be there tomorrow. I'm just saying that we have had people do this upgrade and they get 2 bags for $100 on that upgrade. It is an upgrade to bronze. It's the only place it looks like that. It's the only place the numbers are there. But we're giving you guys kind of a clue to give you an opportunity, every single one of you, to take the time to look through your organization and people that you've introduced to this and got them on the wholesale product and give them an opportunity to upgrade to a business position. They don't have to build, but they're upgrading to a business position at bronze. They can start earning if they want to and get a great deal right now with this package.
Now, we'll probably be able to order singles and cases sometime this week, and auto ships probably November 1st. So that's just, that's the latest. We might hear something different tomorrow with our leadership meetings. Go ahead and stop the recording here.